in right, Brooks at first, Luciano the shortstop, Bishop in left, Walton at third, and Kavanaugh the catcher. Blake Beers makes his AAA debut for the Aviators. We'll talk more about him when he toes a slab in the bottom of the first, but it's right-hander Kai-Wei Tang on the mound now, and his first pitch is at 1:06 Pacific time. The game time temperature here at Sutter Health Park is 84 degrees. The high expected to be around 89, 90 degrees today. It's going to be a perfect day for a matinee. Here's the 1-0, and a swing and a foul straight back by Park, and it's even at 1-1 strike. The outfield left to right for the Rivercats, Hunter Bishop, Wade Meckler, Luis Matos, and the infield around the horn, third to first, Donovan Walton, Marco Luciano, Tyro Estrada, and Trenton Brooks. Drew Kavanaugh behind the plate, and the aforementioned right-hander from Taiwan, Kai-Wei Tang, is on the mound. The 1-1, Park swings and misses, and it's now 1-2. The home plate umpire, Macon Hammond, Kelvis Velez at first, across the way at third, David Arrieta. We're back to a three-man crew after back-to-back games with a four-man crew. The 1-2, and Park swings and taps it foul, third base side. The balls and strikes being called by Macon Hammond with the challenge system in place. Each team gets 3 challenges for balls and strikes. If you win your challenge, you keep it. You lose your challenge, you lose it. And a challenge must be initiated immediately by the pitcher, the catcher, or the hitter. Tang pauses, and the 1-2 pitch, and Park swings and gently rolls one to second. Tyro Estrada up with it, and he throws to first to get Hoy Park. 1 up, 1 down for Kai-Wei Tang. That is how our ball game begins this afternoon. 1 away, and Logan Davidson is coming up next. The Aviators wearing traveling gray pants. They're wearing navy blue tops with Aviators in white. Block letters trimmed in orange diagonally on the front of the jersey. An orange number trimmed in white on the lower left front and on the back of the jersey. Aviators wearing their blue caps with the LV on the front in yellow and orange. That pitch is strike, and it's 0-1 to Davidson. The Rivercats, the home whites with the Cardinal, white pants, white tops with Rivercats in Cardinal cursive on the front of the jersey, and a Cardinal number on the back of the white top with Cardinal patches on either shoulder, as a swing and a miss makes it 0-2, and the Rivercats have a Cardinal cap today with the RC in black trimmed in gold on the front. Kai-Wei Tang, again, coming off a sensational outing, his best of the year on Tuesday. It was very refreshing to see. Tang looked like the Kai-Wei we got to know last year. 6 scoreless innings, 1 hit allowed, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Was very tough to hit. Obviously, just the 1 hit allowed. The 0-2, and a swing and a foul back to the screen. So he's looking to keep that momentum going. 1 out, base is empty, just underway, top of the first. A light breeze from right to left today here at Sutter Health Park. Not a cloud in the sky. The 0-2, and it's off the outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Davidson batting .290, 9 homers, 29 runs batted in. And he has homered in back-to-back games. He hit for the cycle here on Friday, completed it with a 3-run homer in the 9th inning. The 1-2, and a swing and a line drive into right, a base hit, and Logan Davidson continues his hot hitting in this series. Becomes the first base runner of the ballgame, and that's the first hit allowed by Kai-Wei Tang. And Ryan Noda coming up next. It's funny, Davidson had the only hit off Tang on Tuesday as well. He had a ground rule double with 2 outs in the 2nd inning, and Kai-Wei went on to retire the last 13 batters that he faced after that. And that got him through the 6th, and here we are today. And Davidson gets a hit off him right away. So he's at first, and now Ryan Noda, who takes a ball off the outside. Noda last night went 0 for 2. He did draw 2 walks, and he scored a run. Runner at first being held by Trenton Brooks. No score, top of the 1st inning. Tang the stretch in the 1-0, and a swing and a foul back. Good rip at a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. But it evens the count at 1-1 to Noda, who's batting .227, 21 homers, 52 runs batted in. Noda one off the team lead in the home run category. Jordan Diaz with 22. Tang the stretch in the 1-1, a swing and a line drive right field. That's a base hit. Be played back in by Matos, holding at second base Davidson. So back-to-back hits with 1 out, and both hits have gone to right field. And speaking of Jordan Diaz, here he comes, the team leader in homers, having a great year, batting .305. This is the 100th game played by Diaz this season. 22 homers, 84 runs batted in. Abundant sunshine today. We should not have any sun shadow lines on the field, unless this game goes on for a long time. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a bouncer to the left side. Softly hit, charging is Walton. Has it on the infield grass, and with a jump, he throws to first to get Diaz. It does allow both men to advance into scoring position. So Davidson at third, Noda at second, with 2 outs, and Darryl Hernandez coming up. Hernandez was an impossible out last night for Carson Seymour. He was the only guy that Seymour couldn't get. Hernandez went 2 for 2 off Seymour as part of a 2 for 3 night. He walked twice and then walked with 2 outs in the 6th, and that ended up being the end of the line for Carson last night as Hernandez swings and fouls it back for strike 1. No score, top of the first inning. The Aviators hoping for a clutch hit here from Hernandez that might bring home a pair of runs. Hernandez playing in his 20th game with the Aviators, batting .358. He has been a solid performer in an Aviators uniform when he's been here, as that's off the outside. Hernandez 24 hits and 67 official at-bats with 2 homers and 9 runs batted in. 1 ball, 1 strike to the right-handed hitter. Outfield straight away, the infield straight up, and Hernandez swings and hits a comebacker on 1 bounce to the mound. And from the front slope of the mound, Tang makes an overhand throw to first to get Hernandez. And that ends the top of the first inning. Kaiway gives up back-to-back 1-out singles.
Connected to family and friends. Fidium has what you need. Plans start at just $25 a month. Rethink your internet provider. Visit fidiumfiber.com.
Kaiway Tang throws a first pitch strike to start the top of the second. Kaiway working with a 2-0 lead after a 2-run bottom of the first. That pitch low and away. And it's even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Defensive changes for the River Cats. Tyro Estrada's return lasts just 1 pitch as he got hit in the upper back, and they have lifted him, and they put Will Wilson into the game as that is inside. And it's 2-1 to Carlos Perez. Will Wilson will play third base, and that'll slide Donovan Walton over to second. There's a swing and a drive to deep left field. Bishop is back. He turns, and it is gone into the netting in front of the LED dashers. Carlos Perez with a solo homer to start the second inning. And the Aviators immediately cut their deficit in half. It's now 2-1. 19th home run of the season for Carlos Perez. And Drew Lugbauer comes up next. Aviators boast a lot of guys that can run into them. Carlos Perez, one of those guys. Drew Lugbauer in from the left side. Lugbauer batting .212 in 88 games. And he takes low and in, ball 1. Aviators have 6 players on their active roster who have double-digit homers. 1-0. And a swing and a bouncer up the first base side. It'll stay fair by plenty. Taken by Brooks. He'll underhand a Tang covering the bag. 3-1 on the putout. Lugbauer retired, and Colby Thomas coming up next. And with 1 more homer from Carlos Perez, the Aviators will have 3 20-homer guys. Diaz and Noda already there. And now Perez is right on the cusp. Here's the pitch to Thomas. And a swing and a ground ball sharply hit fair past the third baseman Wilson and up to the left field corner. Bishop will dig it out. Thomas into second base with a 1-out double. So the Aviators, who had just 1 hit off of Kaiway Tang on Tuesday, already have 4 hits in an inning and a third here today. Now the number 9 hitter, Cooper Bowman. Bowman playing in his 23rd game with the Aviators, batting .222. No home runs, 9 runs batted in. Second baseman Walton shaded toward the middle, and a pitch swung on a comebacker. Tang looks at the lead runner and now runs his way. Throws to second, and safe at second is Thomas, and they say that Walton didn't slap the tag on him in time. So it's going to be a fielder's choice on which no out was recorded. And Tang disgustedly fires the baseball off into the third base dugout. Tang could have put that throw a little more on the money. He left it up high, and I think they did get the call right. Walton did his best to corral the throw and then get the tag on the back of Colby Thomas. But on the replay, it did look like Thomas just did get his hand back to the bag. Had Tang put that a little more on the money, they would have had him. I think that was the right idea there from Kai-Wei Tang. He looked at the runner at second, and Thomas was well off the bag. Here's the pitch, and it is a strike on the outside. The 0-1, and a swing and a liner into right field and a base hit. Hitting third base and being held there is Thomas. So a base hit for Hoy Park, and the hits keep coming for the Aviators, who now have 5 of them. And now Logan Davidson. You know, in hindsight, Kai-Wei, with 1 out, you could make the argument he could have just gone to first, get the second out of the inning there. But it's tough to blame Kai-Wei when he looked and saw Thomas that far off the bag at second base. Pitch and a swing and a foul back. And the game moves a lot faster when you're out there. So Tang had to make a decision quickly, and he chose to go to second, and unfortunately just couldn't get that out. So now the base is loaded, 1 out for the Aviators. The 0-1, and a swing and a liner into right, and that's a base hit. That was a fastball. Scoring to tie the game, Thomas holding at third, Bowman. And it's been a hit parade for Vegas, now with 6 hits. Still only 1 out in the top of the second inning. And Logan Davidson 2 for 2 and continues his tear this series. And Alan Quijano going to come out and try and get Kai-Wei Tang right here in the second. Well, there was so much swing and miss induced by Tang his last time out on Tuesday, and he's not missing bats really at all today. And so Alan Quijano will try and figure it out. Again, we'll head on the road for 2 weeks. Beginning on Tuesday, we'll be in Salt Lake City, the River Cats and the Bees. Our last series ever at Smith's Ballpark in Salt Lake City, 5:35 first pitch. Our pregame coverage on Tuesday will begin at 5:20 Pacific time. We'll be in Salt Lake City, then we'll be in Round Rock. And then back home to finish out the 2024 regular season with Sugar Land in town. That'll go through September 22nd. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's taken for a called strike by Ryan Noda. 0-1. Bowman at third, Park at second, Davidson at first. The 0-1 from Tang, and a swing and a foul back. And now 0-2. Center fielder Meckler skewed a bit towards left center. The shortstop Luciano shaded up the middle. There's room to the right of the second base bag as the second baseman Walton playing the left-handed hitting Noda to pull it, which he did his first time up for a single into right. And now Noda steps out of the batter's box. The 0-2. A swing and a ground ball pulled to second. Could be 2. Taken by Walton. Quickly to Luciano for 1. On to first for 2. And a double play gets Kai-Wei Tang away from further damage in the top of the second. Kai-Wei Tang's first pitch of the third inning, a strike to Jordan Diaz, who's 0 for 1. Diaz grounded to third his first time up. Tang swings his front leg, deals. Diaz swings, lifts a fly ball to deep left center field. Meckler pursuing, angled to his right. It'll get over his head, one hop over the fence and off of the umpire locker room out there. It's a ground rule double for Jordan Diaz. The ground rule double for Diaz, the second ground rule double we've seen today. Biggio had one to kick off the bottom of the first. Now Diaz opens the top of the third with one. Biggio's went over the short fence and right. Diaz had a little more hop to his as it bounced off the higher fence in left center. Darrell Hernandez showing bunt and takes a called strike. He pulled it back, but that pitch came in as a strike. Hernandez hit a comebacker to Tang that ended the first inning. It's on the way, and Hernandez takes low and away. Zach Bayruti, glad to be with you on a gorgeous Sunday here in Sacramento. It's about 10 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. The 1-1, and a swing and a ground ball toward third, past the dive of Wilson into left field for a base hit. And up to third base now goes Diaz. He had to wait to make sure that was not going to be fielded by Wilson or perhaps Luciano. Tough to gauge from second where that ball was headed, but once it got to the outfield, Diaz took third base. Hernandez is 1 for 2. Talked about Hernandez's good night last night, going 2 for 3, and he's 1 for 2 here this afternoon. There's a swing and a pop-up, first base foul territory and out of play. Oh-1. And a swing and a high fly ball to deep left. This has a chance to go. Bishop is back to the track. He leaps at the wall, and it's gone. And it's atop the clubhouses. A 3-run homer for Carlos Perez. And there it is, his 20th of the season and his second in as many innings. Carlos Perez launches one onto the roof of the clubhouse. And he gives the Aviators a 5-2 lead. And Perez becomes the third 20-homer guy for the Aviators this season. We were just talking about that when he hit his 19th. So Perez joins the 20-homer club with a pair here this afternoon. And now Drew Lugbauer bats with the Aviators up by 3 runs. The pitch is off the outside. Towering blast there from Perez. The 1-0, and a swing and a pop-up foul back out of play to the left. The 1-1, inside. So Tang has given up 3 straight hits to start the third inning, and that's 9 hits for the Aviators through 2+ innings off of Kai-Wei Tang. And a time is called, and they're going to get a pitch clock violation here on Tang. That is the last thing Kai-Wei wanted. It's already been a frustrating afternoon for him, and now he's way behind here because of a pitch clock violation. 3-1. Here it comes, and a backdoor breaking ball for a strike makes it a full count. Three-two, and strike 3 called. Tang threw that over the inside corner. It'll be challenged by Lugbauer, who had turned to go up the first base line. He initiates the challenge by tapping his helmet. And he'll win the challenge. It was off the inside. 1.1 inches off the plate. So more frustration for Tang. Thought he had a strikeout, and then the challenge overturns it. Pitch, and it's outside, ball one. Thomas doubled and scored in the second. A swing and a drive to left. This is way back there toward the wall. It is off the wall, and it rings off that left field fence. Into second base with a hard hit double. Thomas, that was at 107 miles an hour off the bat. A rope off the left field fence. And for Colby Thomas, his second double in as many innings. And the Aviators are seeing Kai-Wei Tang very well here this afternoon after not seeing him hardly at all on Tuesday night. To say the Aviators have adjusted here today would be an understatement. Last time Cooper Bowman came up, he had that comebacker to Kai-Wei, and he tried to get the out at second base. Colby Thomas was there, and Thomas was able to dive back to the bag, so it was a fielder's choice on which no out was recorded. So he's 0 for 1, Bowman. Infield in, and Bowman takes that pitch for a strike. Bowman batting with Lugbauer at third, Thomas at second. And the Aviators leading 5-2. Infield is in. Still nobody out, and Bowman takes a strike. Bowman and Lugbauer, the two Aviators without a hit. And there is bullpen activity now for Sacramento.
The bullpen for the Rivercats, number 13,
Drew Strotman getting hot out there. 0-2, and a swing and a fly ball to shallow center field. Meckler sizing it up, shielding his eyes from the sun with his glove. Wade makes the catch. He'll fire to third base, conceding the run. Tagging and scoring from third is Lugbauer on the sac fly by Bowman. That makes it 6-2 Aviators. So now 4-run inning for Vegas. Thomas at second base. And Hoy Park coming up next. Good decision there on the part of Meckler, firing to third base. Likely not going to get the out at the plate anyways. And with that being the first out, you want to make sure you keep Thomas at second. Hoy Park in from the left side, and Tang spins and looks towards second. Nobody was there covering the bag, nor was Thomas that far off the bag. Wilson, the third baseman, tight to the infield grass. Here's the pitch, and it's in tight, ball one to Park, who's 1 for 2. He singled to right his last time up last inning. He's batting for the third time in as many innings, Park is. Top of the order for the Aviators, who lead at 6-2. They've out-hit the Rivercats 10-4. 1-0, and a strike on the outside. One, and it's a strike on the outside, and now 1-2. One-two is off the outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hoy Park. Again, Davidson is on deck. Luciano, the shortstop, shading up the middle. Tang's pitch, and a swing and a foul at the plate. Ouch, Park fouled it off his foot. For Kai-Wei Tang, this is 11th start of the season, his 19th appearance with the Rivercats. Coming into this game, an 8.29 ERA in 63 innings. 2-2. And just off the outside. And this will be challenged by Kavanaugh. And he will lose the challenge just off the outside. Might be a less than half an inch type of deal, and it is. And now time called as Park steps out. Swing and a foul back, and it stays 3-2. Pitch on the way, and a swing and a shot to the right side past the diving Trenton Brooks and into right field. A base hit for Park, his second hit of the day. And it brings home the 7th run of the afternoon for the Aviators. Colby Thomas dents the plate for a second time today. And it's 7-2 Vegas. 11 hits surrendered by Kai-Wei Tang, and that will be the last one off of Tang today. As here comes Dave Brundage to make the call to the bullpen. So Drew Strotman will enter in a frustrating afternoon for Tang on the heels of his best outing of the year. It was the exact opposite for Kai-Wei today, and Strotman trots in from the right field bullpen. Will step aside and to be back after this call to the bullpen break. Runner at first base, 1 out, and it's 7-2 Vegas in the top of the third. We're back to Sutter Health Park after this.